Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chelsea with Embody Empress. Today we're doing a general reading, so please just take what resonates and leave the rest. If you want to get centered in your breath, get connected to me now in this moment. I've already called upon our angels and guides and those who assist us for our highest and greatest good to bring us the messages we most need to hear. And there's something about you, your sense of self, your individuality. And you might be learning lessons when it comes to any moral obligations, you stepping into a position of authority, how you handle that responsibility, creating boundaries, dealing with karma, life achievements, also just justice, things that are fair, things that are right. I feel like there's this, you're really starting to understand what is true to you, what you value, what is important, and what feels like the right thing to do. And I get the sense that you are taking steps, like responsible, logical steps within this area, like where you are really finding out who you are within something. What are your gifts? How are you standing out? What do you bring to the table? How do you do that? How do you really put yourself in a position to stand up and do that? What actions have you had to take and what not? Because I feel like there is this call for justice in terms of like standing in truth, standing in what's right. But I do get the sense of this energy of fun and maybe wit, like you turning concepts on their head with your sense of humor. There's something about, sharing that aspect of yourself through what you do, even when you're doing like really big things in terms of like making big changes or learning big lessons. Okay? Because you might witness certain forms of manipulation and you want to shed light on them, but in a clever way. This is how it feels. Okay? So we have the star and the side. So the star is about purpose, a wish coming true, a goal being reached. It's about hopefulness, wishful thinking, being true to yourself, your path, going after a dream and achieving it, being freed, liberated from certain troubles of the past. It's also a green light to go after something. It's within your purpose at this time to remove what is not true, what is not fulfilling, what is not right, and walking in integrity with that. And I feel like you are making big changes in your life and big decisions right now and walking away from things that aren't in line with that. And your life might be changing dramatically because of it, or there's sudden endings or sudden changes happening around you to get you to step into your purpose. Okay? Because obviously you have some kind of role to play in something here. So let's see what they want to tell you about that. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which means it's time for something, and it speaks to karma, and it speaks to cause and effect, and that how things are constantly transforming or in motion. And there are certain things within our path that are written in terms of what we're meant to achieve. And I feel like you're reaching a time where you're feeling more confident in your energy, in yourself, in your path, and who you are, in your purpose, and in these changes as well, even if they are difficult. There's this knowing, this confidence that you're on the right path, even with any difficulties. And like you feel like you're being kind of drawn into a portal, or you're on the threshold of a big change that you're not quite sure what it is or what it's going to look like, but you feel it coming nonetheless, and it's imminent. Okay, we have the Six of Wands and the Six of Cups. So 2 sixes, that's about harmony, that's about balance, that's about matters of the heart, the call of your heart. And I feel like there's certain levels that you've achieved here in terms of success and maybe closing out certain cycles and the wisdom that you've gained from those experiences. And you're feeling more at home within yourself and your true nature, which is your soul, which knows that there are limitless possibilities and is really connected to the divine feminine in your imagination and the connection to all and the importance of togetherness and playing together, and collaboration. I feel like there's this, you're getting called into this opportunity for big change within the physical with this new understanding and perspective of life. Okay. We have Temperance in reverse. We have the Star, and we have King of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm definitely hearing the song Yellow by Coldplay. So I'm going to write that down. I'll put the lyrics below in the description box for you. Help you get some deeper meaning into what's happening in your life. I do feel like you're getting to some kind of new level here. A graduation of sorts, some sort of milestone where you're shifting into something new. With Temperance in reverse, though, there is a call for balance, a need to sacrifice, a need for discipline, a need to remember that you, even if it's a balance between the physical and your spirit, as much as we connect in spirit to anchor in our higher dimensions of self, to flow our authenticity and uniqueness into this realm for the assistance of the whole, we do need to be grounded within it. And so there's this balance of being in the world but not of it, but not, wanting to live outside of it and not do the work you came here to do. So wherever you're at in terms of like you're avoiding the physical or you're too much in it and it's like you're in the fucking Maya, the illusion, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's balance that's required because you got a purpose here with the Star. We have the Star here twice. You're being called into action here. You're being called into purpose and higher healing. And also your physical world is going to be changing because of that. I feel like you are feeling either more grounded, you're meant to feel more grounded in your body and what you've achieved, or there's something that you're creating that's supposed to become very stable or is very stable. And that could already be, but there's still this level of like balance that has to happen. So please take what resonates with you. But all in all, there's this ultimate you grounding your purpose into reality in a way that is a legacy, in a way that it's you are sharing something solid that is benefiting all. And even if you've achieved something of that already, that motherfucking shit goes on. Okay? What's coming next is what I'm trying to say. So let's see. Wheel of Fortune. I don't know why I just totally spun off in a Wheel of Fortune, the game show host thing. And really what it is, it's like giving me that energy of wit and humor and using that as you're displaying other things. I don't know why that has to do with what I'm telling you, but I have to tell you what just came through. We have satisfaction. Yeah, so there's some certain level of satisfaction for maybe what you've created, a passion you've created or something in terms of love or romance. I feel like you're at this place where you've been very patient to get where you are now, and it's like you're maybe seeing the journey as a transformation, and there's this satisfaction in that, and there's this readiness for what's to come. What was that? But there's certain aspects where maybe you were staying in a place where you were satisfied, but something was calling you further. You wanted more. There was a deeper calling. Like you could stay in that comfort that you created, and that's okay. That feels good. But your soul's like, yeah, but this. And so there's this energy of you kind of choosing this, and also getting through all the levels when it comes to that. They're giving me so many So it's like when your soul calls you into a new area, into a new experience, into a new level, the initiation that comes with that and the feelings that you're faced in terms of release, letting go, allowing certain things to fall away, but also working through any confusion, illusions, delusions when it comes to this, because it could be so out of your comfort zone that those things get brought up within you, and they're meant to. And you have to discern the truth through that and decide if you want to walk through the door. And they're really just giving me the energy of a black hole, and you kind of getting sucked through it, and the fear of that, like what is on the other side of this. And that energy has been coming up a lot lately in my readings of this event horizon. You get to a point where there's no return. You have entered in, you know, and you are going to find out. And I just get the sense that that's where you're headed, or you're about to be, or you're just at, wherever you're at in the energy. There's this, yeah. Okay. So bashfulness is coming out with Six of Wands. I'm just getting absolute humility for what you've created. I feel like you've been very loyal to something and devoted to something, but there's this humility to it, and maybe even the shyness to fully embrace, like, I did that. You know? I feel like there's a call to celebrate yourself in a sense, and to really acknowledge how beautiful you are and what you have achieved thus far, and don't be afraid to do that, you know? Even if you're just doing it privately, it's like, I just get the sense that you've achieved some amazing feats here, and that's beautiful, and you're beautiful, and hell yeah, you should celebrate yourself for that, you know? It takes a lot of courage and devotion and passion to go after something, and a lot of fucking time and mistakes and fucking confusion, illusion, delusion, all the things to like really do something. And I feel like that you have like achieved some level of something here, and now you're just being called to the next thing, you know? And it's like, don't forget to celebrate that, is what I'm saying. But I do get the sense that you're in transition here, or you're being very loyal to something that is calling you and you're almost about to get it. I don't know. I'm getting the sense that there's this timeline and you're all in different parts of it. But yeah, I see that you have done things in your own way, and in a lot of ways you've stuck to your guns, and you were devoted to something even though maybe others didn't understand it or what have you. And it's like, you could be really receiving at this time in terms of like the reason why you did something, and it being clear, or feeling very abundant in what you created because it broke through, or you're just seeing the greater purpose behind something. I don't know, but it just feels like a major feat, and to not, you don't have to, you can celebrate yourself for that. And don't be shy when it comes to what you know and what you can share in this area. I feel like your insight can be very helpful to others. And especially with that energy of humor and wit and fun, you could be finding ways to really pour that energy out in ways that it's lighthearted and digestible for others, but also super inspiring. Okay? And maybe that's where you're being called to in terms of using your sense of humor. And not in a way that is like self-deprecating. I know it's like it's funny to make fun of ourselves. Like that's totally awesome and part of it. But also there's a way in which we can do it where it's negative to ourselves and our self-worth. So make sure that that's being acknowledged as well. Okay, intuition with the Six of Cups. I mean, I really feel like your soul is calling you in a direction here, and you're having to trust, and you're being kind of led blindly into a situation that is very unknown. It's this, like I said, this black hole that's drawing you in, and you're just like having to trust it. And maybe there's certain ways in which you pull away from it, and whatever. I mean, that's the imagery that I'm getting, so please just bear with me. It's a metaphor. You're not going into a black hole. Or maybe you are, I don't fucking know. But anyway, what do we know, okay? But like, seriously, there's something beautiful. I feel like that's a macrocosmic representation of what we're going through individually. That's how it feels. So we have romance with temperance. So there's something about balancing. Okay, let me say this in all the ways, so please just stick with me here. There's something about balancing for some of you when it comes to romantic connection, and maybe that's codependency. There's something about it's important for you to have your individual self, and then there's times when you give to the connection, or there has to be balance. It also has to feel reciprocated. That's for somebody. Another thing is somebody is preparing for some level of connection where it does require balance and trust, because there could be some level of mystery surrounding it, or it's like you're being prepared for that connection. So there's things that you're learning in terms of discipline and shadow work when it comes to that. Another thing is somebody's learning lessons when it comes to being loyal to something and passionate about something. Maybe if it's like a creative endeavor or a relationship, it doesn't really matter, but it's like the importance of balance with that and trusting your intuition, but also taking action with that, but not giving up. So however it resonates. Ultimately, though, with this peach, I'm just getting this ultimate sweetness, this ripeness that's occurring or happening or about to happen, where it's like this savoring of that fruit of the labor, the thing that came from what you created. You know, allow that to be savored, allow that to be experienced in the depth of what it is and what it means for what you've achieved, but also where you're going from here. Yeah, so we have independence. So there is this level of independence here that's really standing out strongly anyways, where you're having to step in your purpose, and that's only something that you can do alone. And there's certain things where you might be doing something alone now. For some of you, you might have left some sort of relationship or job or a group or community where it's time for you to do something alone, or you're being called into a period of isolation or solitude where you're having to go within and really trust in where your purpose is taking you. Or yeah, there's just like this level of independence when it comes to your purpose, and it also feels connected to your productivity. Like there's something that maybe you have, like for some of you, you do work in certain areas with others, but there's something else you're working on by yourself. So take whatever resonates. Okay, because we have stagnation here with the King of Pentacles, because I feel like as much as so either you're really feeling abundant, you're really feeling stable in what you've created, but you feel stagnant, it's because you're in this process of opening up to what's next, and in that process you're purifying and healing certain wounds, or certain wounds are coming to the surface to show you that you're not allowing yourself fulfillment in an area, even if you're being really fulfilled. And why? And what is fulfillment? And what gives us fulfillment? And what do we truly value? Because you could have achieved everything that your heart desired at a point, and it's lovely, but there's something missing. And it's like, it's maybe something that you forgot in terms of what you needed out of fulfillment, and you're learning lessons on that. And that is a beautiful thing. It's only showing you that you desire that thing, and that you value that thing, and that it is important to you. And then maybe that's where you're headed next. Or you're gonna weave that motherfucker in, whatever it is, right? So trust in where you're at in terms of feeling stuck, because you're healing, you're digesting and processing what has just occurred in your life. Please celebrate yourself, celebrate your achievements, but open up to what your heart wants and where you're wanting to do now, and especially if it's something that you're doing alone. I just am getting like excited right now. Like I feel like you're really starting to like sort of move towards something. You're kind of claiming it in a new way, and there's this excitement building. Yeah, dreaming. It's like you could be fantasizing and really dreaming about what's to come, or, you know, kind of doing the review of what has happened to get you to where you are now. There's this level of romantic energy I'm getting with this as well. You know, you could be dreaming of a beautiful romance for some of you, or just some kind of dream or passion that you want to give your energy to. I feel like you're receiving messages. This conch here is just giving me full-blown, like you're receiving messages telepathically from your guides, or maybe a person. There's something that's calling you into a dream, and it's kind of as you're moving away from another one, if that makes sense. It's very much connected to your wild, free spirit. I feel like it's opening you up in terms of what's possible, or your adventurous spirit, your childlike wonder. And you're kind of seeing the dream in a whole new way in terms of your life. And there's this level of satisfaction for it, and like purpose and beauty. Okay, we have light. Okay. So yeah, something's calling you in a direction here, some sort of beacon of hope or love or just excitement. I feel like you could be picking up on some sort of frequency or a call. It feels like something that's drawing you in terms of like a reflection of what it is that you want. Sorry, it feels so amazing how I'm experiencing this right now, and it's just so, we're so lucky to be here. It's so beautiful. I hope you feel it, and I feel that you do. You know, I get this sense there's this like wonder awakening within you, and this connectivity to all. And you could have been in a difficult time or a dark time where something woke you up to that, like that beacon in the storm, that light in the darkness that was like kind of awoke you from a dream to see the truth or to see what you value. It feels supportive, it feels nurturing, it feels like something that you desire, something that you want to experience. Okay, we have relaxation. So especially if you're feeling nervous or fearful about this, I'm not fully picking that up. I'm sure those feelings are coming with it. But there's this energy of relaxing into trust when it comes to where your intuition is calling you, and believing in the possibility, and just being okay, relaxing into where you are as opposed to trying to be anywhere else. So like, yeah, enjoying and savoring the moment, being in the present moment, relaxing, giving yourself a fucking break. Maybe you've just had like a major life achievement and you're just like, go, 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 go. I just told this story the other day, it's coming back up, so I'm gonna tell it again. But I used to wait tables, and there was this, if you get super busy, you click on into this machine where you just like, you're multitasking like a motherfucker, and you just like, you become the energy in the room, and you just like, yeah, it's just like, you go with this flow of intensity. And then when it starts to slow down, there's this moment where you're still in that that mode of go, 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 and you don't have to be. And you have to sort of like recognize that you're still in it and go, oh shit, I haven't come down yet with the energy. I'm still in that high intensity energy, and it's not happening anymore. So for some reason that felt significant to share. I feel like allow yourself to slow down, allow yourself to take a break, relax into the moment, savor what you've just been through, allow yourself to receive light, receive love, receive renewal, receive vacation, receive massage. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you fucking need right now. Follow your intuition when it comes to what will light up your soul in ways that are relaxing to you. And you see how this mermaid is like completely relaxed, and she's surrounded by jellyfish here. Like, you know, that's that kind of that energy I mean. It's like you just kind of relax into where you're at without fearing certain intensities. I don't know. I'm not saying that quite the way I want to, but that's okay. I'm just gonna keep moving on. Okay, move forward. Okay? We have Neptunian energy here, which is inspiration, dreams, psychic receptivity, subtle energies, our subconscious, fantasy. That's what Neptune is all about. But it also comes with illusion, confusion, and again, we have to see our way through that. There's something that I feel like that you are seeing your way through that with Temperance being in reverse. I feel like there's this balance that has to be made between your spiritual and the physical. But with Romance here, there's some sort of passion or love that's driving you forward. And you're meant to keep moving forward. Again, make sure that you're balancing the spiritual and the physical, because that's how you get to that dream or that feeling that you're trying to achieve, is using this realm to experience in that way as a reflection for whatever reason. I don't it's just what we're doing here. Okay, ask for help. Yes. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask for help, especially if you're doing something alone. It's very mysterious. There's no one, you don't feel like there's anyone to turn to, like, because it is such a private thing, your spiritual journey. And who you're meant to ask for help from is spirit, the universe, whatever you want to fucking call it, the quantum field, okay? And you ask for assistance when it comes to aligning with this. You claim it. You ask for assistance in terms of your healing. You ask for assistance in terms of removing obstacles. Whatever the fuck you need, you ask for it. And spirit will give you that. And you will receive opportunities to heal or to get aligned with that path or to remove obstacles that are in your way, you know? And you have to trust and believe that, and you also have to walk in this world like you do believe it. And those answers will come, that assistance, those resources will come to you. Communication. Somebody could be needing help in terms of communication, or the right way to say something, or the right way to go about something, or they're feeling stuck when it comes to their voice or their throat chakra. I feel like you're breaking free from limitations when it comes to that. So there might have been some limiting beliefs about your self-worth that affected your throat chakra. So it's the energy of, like, say you always feel like you say the wrong thing, and it's like there is something within you that maybe distorts something, or, you know what I mean? There's something that has to heal between your connection to your confidence in who you are and your soul and yourself, and how you are expressing that through your throat chakra as your power, your voice, as how you're expressing your soul. And what is it being filtered through to get to you? Is it being filtered through the heart, or is it being filtered through the mind? You feel me? Through your heart, you'll speak your truth in such a way that it is you. And it's, ooh, what is that? Sorry, there's some cool bird outside, and I don't know what it is, but it's cute. Anyway. Throw off, shit. Okay, or is it filtering through the mind, where you have insecurities based upon old beliefs from pains of the past and things, and what you do know, and you're trying to control it, and you're staying in a groove of what you do know, and it's coming out in that way. Do you see what I'm saying? Connect with your heart when you're connecting with your throat chakra, because you're breaking free from some sort of limiting beliefs or perspective or something. And I feel like your throat chakra is going to start flowing in such a way. I'm also getting this in a sense of singing. For instance, like a lot of people think they can't sing. And yes, certain people have more, fine tuning, I'll say, when it comes to that. But I really believe that anyone can sing. And I feel like you have to find your voice. And it really comes through you trusting yourself and your voice and it coming from that depth of who you are in your soul. And if it's filtered through the mind, that's when our voice cracks. That's when we are trying to sound like someone else and we are not them. We are trying to sound like them. You know what I'm saying? So that could be something that you're experiencing. Okay. Meditate, okay? So make sure you are getting grounded in your body, but connecting in yourself, your soul, your higher self and spirit. Meditation to clear the mind, especially before you're doing things where you have to communicate. Asking for assistance when it comes to what's coming through you in terms of your throat chakra. Meditating when it comes to contemplation and connecting to a dream. Because we do that in meditation too. It's not always about just getting quiet and blocking out thoughts and shit. It's not it at all. Like, ooh, there's a blue Morpho butterfly. I'm easily distracted by beautiful animals and shit. Sorry. But anyway, so let me put the blue Morpho in the description box too, in terms of animal symbolism. So hold on. Okay. I'm just kind of sighing at myself because I saw one earlier right before I started this reading and I was like, I should look into that symbolism right now because I feel like it's going to be useful in this reading, and I didn't, and now I'm like, well, that's why I should have. Okay, so anyway, we learn from those things, right? What the fuck was I saying? Fuck. Okay, somebody might feel like they're getting distracted and that's okay, but we gotta meditate, bring our mind in, we gotta get still, because especially if we're like stepping into our purpose, we got to be clear, and we got to get clear on what we believe. We got to get clear in terms of our thoughts. Oh yeah, so we can use meditation for contemplation and connecting to a dream and weaving an outcome or a future or some experience, I should say. I don't know how else to say that. Or you can do that. Okay? Because as much as we are spiritual beings who come here to clear our mind, we are also creators. And we're meant to use this incarnation to do so, And that's, I think, a lesson on the spiritual path for some, where you feel like you just want to escape the whole illusion of the experience. But truly, you're meant to awaken to it and use it in this reality to bring that wisdom through this realm for whatever reason, because we are ascending as a collective. It assists the whole for us to share that energy, and we're meant to work with it, and there's so many ways in which you can do this. You don't have to live in a cave, is what I'm saying. You can, but you can also bring your wisdom forth and through your creativity in however fucking way, shape, or form you want, in a way that is beautiful and fulfilling to you, but also extremely healing and beneficial to the whole. Dear Lord. Full moon. Okay. Oh boy. We got message, we got fire, we got full moon together. Okay? There's something about you could be receiving a message. I don't know if this is a channeled message from spirit or your higher self or a specific person or individual in terms of a psychic connection. Whatever it is, there's a lot of passion behind it. There's a lot of fire behind it and determination behind what you're meant to do with it or what it brings into your life. I'm getting the sense that there's some clarity surrounding something, and for some of you it's surrounding the message you're sending through your creativity. But I get this magic, psychic energy coming from this. So yeah, you're either really tapping into your higher self, or you're receiving from a collaborator in terms of a soul group member. Okay, we have lucky. Luck, luck, luck. Luck is a culmination point. It is a serendipitous event that occurs through a process in which you have given your focused energy to something, and you go through the necessary preparation and purification process that it takes to receive that, and you achieve that moment in something that we call luck or serendipity or fate, which is controlled by Jupiter. And Jupiter, as much as they are connected to abundance and luck, are connected to higher learning. And so within that process, that transformation and that achievement of a goal, we see the higher purpose behind something and how something is achieved and what it means and what it feels like. And when we can go after a goal or an achievement with the idea of our fulfillment in mind, with the idea of our healing in mind, or the healing of the collective, imagine the stability that is created through that, as opposed to what is created when we don't have those things in mind. And some of you know what that means, to achieve a certain goal, but it coming with certain lessons that tell to you, well, this isn't fulfillment. You were doing this for the reason of something else, and that's what I'm showing you now. You see what I'm saying? The universe gives us exactly what we need. And so sometimes when we get to those achievements, we see that it comes with other things like lessons because of the intentions we had behind it. I mean, it comes with so much, this process of creation, and it is amazing. And you are amazing. And this is amazing. And the fact that we are connecting through space and time in this way is fucking amazing. And that we do that without this physical representation of something called technology and the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, something's coming together for you. And I feel like you have a different idea of how that's going to feel, as opposed to maybe lessons you've learned in the past. I feel like for some of you, you could receive some sort of lucky communication. I don't know if this is an offer, a message in form of email, text, phone, idea, a stranger saying something to you that like opens you up and activates you to something else. I don't know how it's going to happen for you, but it can happen in many, many ways. And so pay attention, because we don't know everything about our life. We don't know how the universe works. We have an idea, but Spirit is very mysterious in the ways in which they will bring things into our awareness and into our life, and for what reason. So just pay attention, because I feel like there's something beautiful coming in. Yeah, good fortune at the bottom. I think you're going to feel very lucky to receive this, or to have this moment of communication with someone or something. And it feels like it's going to break you free from some kind of stagnation as well. It's also like receiving that bit of information that just like cracks you open, so that it does remove you from some sort of low vitality, unmotivated, stagnant, feeling stuck state, because you realize the truth within that experience and how you are really working with this universe. See, I fucking knew it. The comic came out. There's something about like your sense of humor, your wit, how we can manipulate with our words. And there's a negative way we do that, and there's also a positive way we do that, where we can, like I said, turn concepts on their head, make people see the lighter side of things, even if it seems like a very serious thing, and it helps us just to kind of like, release the fucking tension already. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's time that we take a little break from this, like, seriousness and tension. I mean, especially within our collective, there's so much happening all at once in terms of difficulties. There's also so many beautiful things happening at once that we're not really truly seeing if we're only focusing on that. And so for those of us who can see that perspective and bring that light and get people to see those beautiful aspects of life, even through the difficult times and transformation. Oof, I'm getting a lot of goosebumps on my left side. It's like, that is a beautiful gift to share. And you obviously have that gift. And you might be learning lessons with it and finding your way with it. I know I have. Like, I fucking love joking around. I don't do it enough on this channel, okay? But it feels better when someone's with me that I can really bounce off of, you know what I'm saying? But there are times when I have said things that completely fall flat, or they completely miss the mark, or they didn't have somebody's feelings in mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have learned lessons in that for sure. And that's a part of it. It helps us to kind of build up our awareness with how we can use that beautiful aspect of ourselves. Like, that is such a beautiful gift that we have, to be able to make light of something and to bring light through humor and such seriousness and heaviness and darkness. But it's okay to learn from those things, is what I'm saying. I can't remember why exactly I brought that up. Just having flashbacks, I think. I'm like, ooh. But also there's been times where I've like made jokes and it falls flat, and it like makes me laugh, because I'm like, maybe that shit was just for me. Okay, bro? So we have Castle. There's something funny about it. Okay, so the Castle it could be our defenses. It could be our stability, our structure. It depends on the shadow or the light. The shadow being stability and structure and protection, but the light being that, the shadow being like defensive and fearful of going on the other side of that stability and structure. So you could be having realizations about how you are holding back, or you're being defensive, or seeing the stability that you have created and the beauty that you have created. Ultimately, I'm feeling that very strongly, but I'm sure it's both, because we learn from duality. But again, I'm getting this level of success in terms of what you've created. There's this stability there. Okay? Okay, so we have hearts. We have the offering and the womb. Okay, so definitely there's some kind of offering here coming from the heart. This could be the message that you're sending, and you're sending it in such a way that it is funny and lighthearted, and it brings people some sort of joy or opening of their heart through that experience. And that's exactly what it's doing, by the way. You're helping somebody see something that they are overlooking in a way that opens their heart at the same time. Do you know what that does? It is such a gift. You know, yes, we can be intelligent, we can be serious, we can just display our facts and give our information, but when we say things in such a way that it makes people laugh, it opens their heart. Laughter cracks that shit open, and they can receive it in a way that they hadn't looked at before, and there's an activation there. There's a fucking integration, like immediate, like click. You know what I'm saying? That is skill. I'm getting a lot of goosebumps again on my left side, mostly my leg. So you could feel like you're stepping into this in a new way, in this part of yourself. But there's something about your offering, the offering that's coming from your heart. For some of you, this is maybe a communication, something you're saying. Could be to a specific person, could be to an audience, could be to your community, your family, whatever. But all in all, with the womb, it has that nurturing, caring aspect that I brought up earlier. That there is care behind it. There is something where there's love behind it, where you want that individual to grow from that experience or that gift, or you have something that you're creating and you're offering it to somebody, or you know what I'm saying? Or maybe some kind of lucky communication comes in for someone that is, it starts something within you. It plants a seed and you start to create something. Again, this could be an idea, a message, anything. And that seed starts that seed of creation, and you start to build, you start to nurture and care for something. Okay? Lovely. So I've gone on way too long. Mainly because I fucking wanted to. But I know these are long. I'm sorry. But I just want to give you guys all the love, because it helps, doesn't it? Like, to get through stuff and to understand what's happening and to get those little messages to help us, empower us forward, especially when we're doing big things or transitioning from one thing to the next, or preparing to receive something beyond what we have. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do some keywords, see what if I can get you some confirmation there, and then I'll end it with some quotes. Okay, we have take a risk. Okay, we have expand your horizons. So there's obviously something about you getting outside of your comfort zone here, taking some kind of risk when it comes to, yeah, take your guard down with the castle here. There is that shadow aspect of having a guard up, being in the safety of what you know. Okay, there's some way in which you're being asked to go outside of that, and it seems like in a way that is fun, or in a way that you're using your humor and wit. And let me just speak to this, because I know this from personal experience too, is like, I can feel very disconnected from this part of myself when I have my guard up. For instance, if I'm like feeling overprotective of my energy and I'm in a position where I'm not quite sure how everyone's going to receive me, or you know what I mean, especially back in the day when I was very concerned about that and very shy, like I would withhold that part of myself. And it's like, I would say one of the best parts of anyone, right? And it's like when we take our guard down, or when somebody gives us permission to, those walls fall down and we just slip right into that shit. For instance, coming from my experiences of like pain and relationship difficulties and suffering in my way, I had put quite a wall up when it comes to how I could connect with others at a certain point in my life. And I felt very disconnected from this part of myself, but I was craving it. I'm like, God, why can't I just like, I want to just like bounce off somebody. I want to like joke around, but like when I'm meeting people, I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable. It's not flowing. What's the fucking deal? But then suddenly I'll meet someone who is already in that, throws it at me, I throw it right back. It comes right out. You know what I'm saying? And it's so fucking liberating. It was so freeing when that would happen. I would just light up like a fucking candlestick, like a little child who found someone to play with. And I'm just saying that because that is how important it is to bring that energy through. And we don't have to wait for someone else to do it. We can bring that energy through. You see what I'm saying? And I know, like I said, from personal experience, how I would hold that part back and why. And it was because of this guard I had. Okay, so we have up to you. So obviously there's some sort of choice or something that's up to you. Like you have to do something, or you have to choose it or claim it, or you have to... It's up to you for something in terms of accepting or doing, I think. Giving or receiving. We have sleep on it. So there could be something that you have to like get clear on before you take a risk, okay? So this isn't about like just taking the first thing that comes along or being impulsive or whatever, but like allow, especially if you're questioning something, allow yourself the time to contemplate before you jump. Okay, we have follow your heart always. Okay, I love that over dreaming. We have sparks are flying. Obviously something's getting lit up within you. There might be sparks flying between you and some sort of passion that you have for something that you're doing, or a creative project, or this could be romantic. Okay, whatever it is, there's something within you that's sparking. And it could be like the seed of an idea, something that's trying to awaken within you so that you take that idea and you run with it. Okay, we have move forward. So there's obviously, that's here fucking twice. It says move forward, move forward. Keep moving forward, especially if you're feeling stagnant. Take any kind of step, even if it's a step of relaxation. I know that sounds weird. That doesn't make sense, right? No, but sometimes it's a step forward, is allowing ourselves a break, allowing ourselves to relax. Then we come back with fresh eyes. But when we do, we take another step. You know what I'm saying? Like, we keep moving forward. Exactly. Take a break and come back with fresh eyes. Okay? So exactly that. If you need to take a break, you can get a new perspective. And that's a part of a movement. Okay? Open your heart. We have that here a lot. It's about opening your heart. It's about the fact that our humor, our lightheartedness can help us to open that. You know, maybe things help you that are funny. You might be drawn to watching comedians or funny things, and maybe that's something that's inspiring you right now. But there's also something about opening your heart in terms of the message that you're sending through that, and that being important, because we can also hurt people through certain things that we say in a way that is joking, and there's lessons in that, you know. But also, are there lessons in them needing to lighten a little bit, or are there lessons in us needing to be more how should I say, gentle with the delivery or something, or doing it in a different way? These are things that you're going to discern with whatever you're going through with this. You will be shown the way, okay? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Learn from them. That's all you got to do. Hell yes, bitch. Okay? Sparks are flying. Something's a hell yes right now. I feel like something's getting lit within you. Or if you're about to feel that, when you feel it, fucking move forward towards it. Whatever's lighting you up in that sort of way, they're like, yeah, you go that way. Yeah, look at this. We have a fuck yes. Okay? There's obviously something that's standing out here. Okay? We have what is the lesson and clear intentions. You're receiving lessons right now. That was one of the first energies that came out in terms of how you're handling responsibility and boundaries and karma and justice, what's fair, what's right, especially if you're learning how to use your wit or your humor or your fun within whatever you do and how to do that. And so, yeah, you could be learning lessons without but always look deeply at the lesson in terms of what are the shadows on all sides, including yourself, including the other. What is the light on each side? Look at it all, okay? Make sure your intentions are clear. If your intentions are clear and you're coming from the heart, it's good. You know, you get to decide what feels right to you in this way. And I feel like, I don't know, something cool is coming in for you that you're stepping towards here. It says try something new. So maybe a new way of doing something, or a new, you could even be trying something new on the side in terms of a hobby or a workshop that might help you with whatever you're doing, or a new way of doing something. I don't know. So let me just, get you a couple quotes and then we'll end this thing, because, yep, we're pretty close to an hour here, Chelsea. Okay. And I gotta get to ecstatic dance. I don't know what I'm doing. I just felt very called to sit with you guys. I'll be fine. I'm gonna get there in time. Because I had just done this message for my Patreon, and I've been doing mostly pick a card readings, as you can see if you're watching this in real time, but I felt very called to just do a collective, because the energy was so potent when I sat down and I was like, I gotta share this with you guys. A difficulty is a light, an insurmountable difficulty is a sun. Okay? So any kind of challenge or obstacle or difficulty here that you're facing, you're going to get so much out of it. It's not impermanence that makes us suffer. What makes us suffer is wanting things to be permanent when they are not. You know, the importance of everything is temporary, and the importance of non-attachment when we are going through this life path, and the lessons that we learn through attachment. We must believe that we are gifted for something, and that this thing, at whatever cost, must be attained. You know, trusting in your gifts, trusting in what you're called to do, even with the cost, even with the fucking lessons that come with it. Whatever it is, there's something, it's calling you there. You got to go for it. The person who can bring the spirit of laughter into a room is indeed blessed. I'm telling you, the energy is so potent today, and it's so beautiful, and this is speaking to you, and the fact that you can bring that energy into what you do, and how powerful that is. Okay, what's coming will come and we'll meet it when it does, you know? Whatever it is, you got it. And even if there's like repercussions, things like just meet everything with accountability, with resilience, with perseverance, with expansion, with this light heart in mind, with a sense of humor in mind. Everything just becomes an acceptance, a living prayer, a sacred thing that you will accept when it comes, instead of like worrying about it or thinking of the worst case scenario or giving yourself like a full-blown self-flagellation for some sort of mistake that you've made. You know what I'm saying? Like, just allow the experience to carry you through it. As human beings, we are imperfectly perfect. It is through our mistakes that we learn. Exactly. It's okay. We can learn gracefully. I've learned that making a living is not the same as making a life. And again, that's just confirmation for what I said earlier in terms of somebody may have learned lessons with that. In terms of going after something with not all the right intentions in mind, and the lessons that came with that. You know what I'm saying? You are not Atlas carrying the world on your shoulder. It is good to remember that the planet is carrying you. So we might feel like we're at a certain level of responsibility, maybe because of our platform or whatever it is that we do. And of course there is. But you're not doing this alone. We're all doing this together. And as much as there are leaders who stand up, we are all a part of this earth experience together and this ascension process together, and we get to be carried and receive support and help as well. And it's not up to just one person, it's the whole that carries us through this ascension process. And that's something that needs to be really understood as you're getting into this energy. Why fit in when you were born to stand out? Exactly, Dr. Seuss. Thank you. You know, the more we are in our authenticity, the more we allow our expression, our creativity to be exactly how it feels good to us, the more our gifts will reach, the more beneficial they will be, as long as that greater purpose is in mind. Your fulfillment, but also the purpose of why you are doing it, not because of the money or the accolades or the position. It's because of the connectivity. It's because of the ascension. But you can be yourself, you know, and love it and enjoy it and spread it all around, and it'll reach those who it's meant to. And that's exactly what it's meant to do. And that's the beauty of it. Okay? I love you guys ever so much. I hope these messages help you on your way. And I will see you next time. Oh wait, also, if you guys want a reading for me, EmbodyEmpress.com. I have to do this, you guys, because that's how so the fucking thing, the word gets out. But anyway, I have, if you want a reading from me, EmbodyEmpress.com. I have a Patreon community if that calls to you, which you can try for 1 week for free to see if it's a good fit. I also have tons of free resources, so please check that out down below. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, even if you're just stopping by. Thank you for doing this whole earth thing with all of us and really being empowered into sharing your gifts and your light in the most beautiful ways. We all appreciate you so much. And yeah, I love you. I'll see you next time.